I forgot, guys. I brought breakfast in a bag.
Oh, snap. What'd you get?
Breakfast of champions.
What is it? Oh, Twinkies. Oh, snap. Apparently, San Francisco, they didn't understand the rules of overtime. And so that's what they could do. It's in their loss. Like, this is your job. Like, you should know this.
Yeah, I saw that too. That some of the players didn't understand the rules of overtime.
Crazy. What's the lowest amount you can get a mortgage on, David?
Well, that's a good question because technically there is no minimal amount. MSHDA is a down payment assistance program. It's not
a mortgage.
Correct. It's not a mortgage. It's not a type of loan. It's not like you can get an FHA loan or a conventional loan or a MSHDA loan. No. That's wrong.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Tailgate podcast. We're back for our second show. We made it. I can't believe it. I'm here. My name's Mike Mitchell. I'm here with my partner, David Underwood. How's it going, David?
Going great, man. Going great. You said you're glad we made it. I'm glad you made it back from Florida.
Hey, we could podcast from Florida. I'm sure our producer could hook something up, right?
Oh, yeah. We could try something. We could do something a little virtual, maybe.
So how was time in Florida anyway, man?
Good. Spent some time with the wife, my sister and her husband. Got some sunshine. And back at it now, ready to go back to work. So recharge the batteries.
Yeah, you were gone for how long?
A week. 1 week, yeah.
Okay. Where'd you go?
We went to Madeira Beach.
Okay. And is that close by to your infamous Treasure Island?
It is. St. Pete Beach, Treasure Island, Madeira Beach. They're all right in a row.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have you ever gone down there? I don't know. I know you're a huge football fan, but have you ever gone down there for spring training for baseball?
I have not. I have friends that have done that. It's in Lakeland, right? That's more in the center of the state, but I've never done that. So, yeah, we're heading towards baseball season, right?
Yeah, I mean, spring training games have begun.
Yep. Opening day, I think it's April 5th, home opener.
Yeah, I think it's
March 29th is the opener against the Chicago White Sox, and then I believe April 5th, Oakland Athletics at home. So who knows what the temperature will be then, right?
Yeah.
I know it's warm now, but
yeah, we're using up all the warm temperatures right now.
It's like 73 degrees yesterday, set an all-time record. But, home opener, I've seen it snow. I've been at those games.
Yeah, I totally forgot, guys. Shout out to Walter Hooper, our producer, who's manning the board today.
Oh, no, you're too kind. You're too kind.
And the cameras. But I forgot, guys. I brought breakfast in a bag.
Oh, snap. What'd you get?
Breakfast of champions.
What is it? Oh, Twinkies. Oh, snap.
So now you can never say
Twinkies.
Can never say I didn't buy you breakfast.
Looks very nutritious.
Yeah, breakfast of champions. There you go.
So yeah, football season's over. The Super Bowl's done. We're looking forward to baseball opening day. Hockey playoffs are coming up mid-April. Yeah. Red Wings are looking good.
They're looking real good,
yeah,
man.
Won again last night.
Exactly. I mean, against Washington.
Yep. So I saw something. Red Wings coach said that he wants Dan Campbell to come to a game because every time a Lions player's at the game, they win. So I saw Aiden Hutchinson was there last night in a Red Wing jersey. They showed him in the box. So pretty cool. Pretty exciting. So hopefully the Red Wings get in the playoffs this year and have some excitement.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching some more games. I haven't had a chance to catch a lot of games, but I do try to keep up with some of the news, and I know that there's some serious chemistry brewing with Patrick Kane on the team, and he's been hot.
Yep, for sure. Good, glad to have him back.
Yes.
I do have to throw. I know our last podcast we were just before the Super Bowl, and who won the Super Bowl again?
Oh, Kansas City.
Who picked Kansas City to win again?
I think it was some guy that should have stayed in Florida. Yeah, I told you I picked the Niners, but I gave you my reasons why, and I rooted for them because I felt, even though they were picked by Vegas to win, but I felt like they were an underdog, and of course Kansas City proved
terrible
that they were
game,
the underdog.
right? It was a terrible game.
Yeah,
I thought it was one of the worst Super Bowls ever.
really?
But yeah, I thought it was a sloppy game, a lot of turnovers. It wasn't wasn't exciting until the fourth quarter. I don't know. I was disappointed.
Well, yeah, it definitely wasn't exciting. I mean, I think a lot of people expected it to be like a shootout or something.
Right.
You know, especially with Mahomes and Purdy, because Purdy had a great year. But I don't know. Defense, man, both teams' defenses stepped up.
So I didn't watch it this year because I
What?
Oh, you didn't?
No, absolutely not. No.
It's like not voting. You can't.
No,
you don't vote. You can't have an opinion.
I am not buying.
There you go.
No. See, I refuse to buy into the marketing scheme that is the Kansas City, the Kelsey Swift stuff. So it has nothing against Taylor Swift herself. She just happens to be at the forefront of this. It's the sports media but anyways, I digress. But I had read on ESPN the following day that apparently San Francisco, they didn't understand the rules of overtime, and so that's what they contributed to their loss. Like, this is your job. Like, you should know this.
Yeah, I saw that too, that some of the players didn't understand the rules of overtime. But
Crazy. Craziness.
hey, but it's just like anything else. So I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because I guess we could segue into the real estate business, just like any other business. Any business you go to, okay? I mean, you could step into McDonald's and you're not always going to get the same quality of employee, right? Everyone doesn't know their job like they should, just like a good realtor or a good mortgage professional, okay? You've got some out there that really care and some that don't. I like to categorize myself as a mortgage professional that cares, and I try to relay that in everything that I do on a day-to-day basis and when I'm dealing with clients. And I know for a fact that Mike is top-notch, and I'm sure he does the same for his clients.
Appreciate that. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
I do. I do. I give my clients 110% all the time. I've been complimented before. I treat everyone the same, whether you're buying a $50,000 house or $1 million house. You're going to get the same service from me. And I actually had a lady compliment me on that. And she said that it was back in like 2008, and when the prices were down quite a bit, and I actually sold her house in Grosse Pointe for I think it was like $90,000, believe it or not. And it was really low. And she's like, "You treated me so good, like I was $1 million client." And it really made me feel good, because it's that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, that's a heck of a compliment.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, and I do the same. I mean, I deal with clients. I have a client right now that's trying to buy a house, probably in the 50,000 range, and may go as low as 40,000. And believe it or not, it's sad to say, but there's some people that do what I do. When they find out that a client's, looking at a home in that price range, they just don't feel it like it's worth their time to deal with them. Because if they're being paid commission, then they're going to make less than someone that might be buying a $150,000 house. So,
right. See, you can't run your business based. I mean, yeah, we're in business to make money, but you can't just do it off the commission figures. That for $50,000 house, $40,000 house, they could refer you to 10 people. They could call you back in 3 years and buy a $500,000 house. You don't know.
No, you're exactly right. I'm just telling you
what
I hear out there and what's going on, the reality.
For sure. What's the lowest amount you can get a mortgage on, David?
Well, that's a good question, because technically there is no minimal amount.
Okay. There used to be, right?
Technically, but every lender has kind of set their own bottom. Okay. A lot of lenders nowadays won't do anything under 50,000.
That's what I thought. I want to say I remember way back early in my career that the number used to be like 40 grand.
Yeah, as far as a loan size, we'll go lower. My company, once again, we're just trying to help folks. So, we obviously we can't give a loan and end up paying for the transaction. But there's in a number of cases we can go down to about $35,000 on the loan size.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. So so once again, it's like, I don't have a problem with that. I get calls all the time. Like I said, someone that's looking for like a $45,000 mortgage, and they're like, yeah, I called some companies. They're like, they can't even do it. So once again, I don't know if it's their company that's setting that bottom or if it's that particular loan professional that just doesn't want to deal with.
So in this market, of course, $40,000 houses are few and far between, right?
Exactly.
So but we're just going back a ways. I remember when that was a thing. I actually, it just dawned on me. I remember this was back in the foreclosure crisis. Had to been like 08, 09, somewhere around there. And I had the record in our office. I sold the lowest price home. And I walked in and they're like, did you really sell a house for $4,500? I'm like, I did. It was great. It was a bank-owned listing. I sold it for $4,500 to my client, an investor. And then I told the other agent, like, you want to hear the best part? They paid me $1,800 in commission out of that $4,500.
Yeah, hey.
The bank did. So, yeah. But I don't know if that record still holds up because obviously totally different times now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was just craziness back then. But,
What
yeah,
year?
it just made me think of it.
What year was that?
Had to have been between 08 and 10. I'd say probably 08 or 09, actually.
Well, talking about properties and sales, Mike, what's going on with inventory nowadays out in your neck of the woods?
Still low from the last time we talked at our first podcast. But inventory is definitely low. I just checked the stats real quick in St. Clair Shores, my home base, if you will. This morning there's 37 active listings in all of St. Clair Shores. That's from like 80,000 to 900,000. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, the old market used to be, there was always 90 to 100 homes on the market. So 37, that's just, we'll see what happens as things progress, as the spring comes. But I think it's going to be an extreme seller's market again for the spring at least.
Yeah, and especially in St. Clair Shores. I mean, St. Clair Shores has always been a very desirable area for home buyers.
Yeah, every city, every area is different overall, right?
Yeah.
Overall, inventory is low everywhere in Southeast Michigan. That's a fact. Some are more extreme than others, for sure. I always like to say real estate's local, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It's you just brought up a point that it's different everywhere you go, because I was looking at some numbers nationally, and actually, and these numbers come out a little bit later. Like you said, we're at the end of February now, but January numbers, I think it was January numbers, I saw that nationally inventory actually went up on an average.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, so we're kind of, Southeast Michigan has still been kind of hot as far as, the demand is higher than, a lot higher than other areas.
We touched on in our last podcast that Detroit, the city of Detroit, was one of the hottest real estate markets. There was something out in the news like a month ago as far as values or price increases. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, it's definitely still hot here. And we'll see what's going to happen here in the spring season.
Yeah, and that's right around the corner. So talking about buying, I'll let you know what was on my mind is we're going into the buying season, the traditional buying and selling season. And the thing that's been on my mind is the lack of knowledge out there about down payment assistance programs.
Sure. The first thing that comes to my mind is MSHDA. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that's part of what I'm referring to. Absolutely. I mean,
so for those that don't know, MSHDA is, correct me if I screw this up, David, everyone just calls it MSHDA. Real estate's full of acronyms, right? But it's Michigan State Housing Development Authority?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know we rattle off acronyms all the time.
Yeah, and and MSHDA is probably the most popular known, and probably and it is a very strong down payment assistance program. But the thing that I like to try and educate people on, and actually educate realtors on, that might not be that familiar with the program, when you hear MSHDA a lot of times thrown around in our industry, they think that MSHDA is a type of loan. MSHDA really is the entity that provides down payment assistance. So when you hear MSHDA is a down payment assistance program. It's
not a mortgage.
Correct. It's not a mortgage. It's not a type of loan. It's not like you can get an FHA loan or a conventional loan or a MSHDA loan. No. That's wrong. Okay. A MSHDA loan, and I guess I should back up and say, first of all, MSHDA is not offered by all lenders. Okay. A lender has to be approved by MSHDA in order to offer the MSHDA down payment assistance. And I can speak about MSHDA because we are an approved lender. Mm-hmm. So we handle the MSHDA products. But MSHDA is a down payment assistance program. So I can, take a buyer who is approved FHA, pre-approved FHA, and if they qualify, I can get them MSHDA down payment assistance.
Which is what, up to $10,000 now?
Correct, up to $10,000, as long as they qualify.
Right.
Okay? And we don't have time to go into all the details, but the program's designed for buyers that are not ultra rich. People that are low to median income, basically, and and they might need some assistance with down payment money and or closing costs money.
Right.
So I can use MSHDA down payment assistance for someone that's pre-approved FHA. I can use MSHDA funds for someone that's approved with a conventional loan. Can also use MSHDA for someone that's approved with an RD or rural development loan, believe it or not.
And that's opening a can of worms now. People are like, "What's an RD loan?"
Yeah,
we know what they are, but I've sold them. But
yeah, it's another type of loan.
We don't see much of it in this area, right? In the burbs over here, but I've done them in
because
north of 25 Mile Road.
Yeah, because that type of loan, the property has to qualify in an area that is what we call RD eligible. So, it's usually in areas where there's not a ton of concentration of people like in or right around a large city. Okay.
Great.
But here in Michigan, we actually have a lot of areas that are RD eligible.
Yeah. I know I did one in New Haven, so it doesn't have to be like out in the country or farmland. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're based out of Michigan, and, a lot of people here in Michigan forget how large our state is. We have a large state. So, when you start thinking about the whole state, there are a lot of areas that are RD eligible in the state of Michigan. I mean, all the way up into the UP. So, but the point is that the down payment assistance is a great program, and it's something that when you're getting pre-approved for a mortgage, it's one of the things you should be asking your lender is, do you have any down payment assistance programs that I might qualify for? Because, some people are looking for it, but some people just want to know if they qualify for it in case they need it.
Right.
Because it's a competitive market. Right. And we've touched on.
And you can advise them. Like some people, it's not in their best interest to do MSHDA. Some people, it might be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone's different. So you'd have to look at their situations.
Yeah. And to me, that's an important part of the pre-approval, so that someone knows all their options.
Because some people could qualify, but they might be better off not going, right, in certain situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the reason it's important to have those discussions is so that when you, the realtor, start taking them out, you already have some strategies. You know exactly what they can do, what they can't do. And so that when you put together your strategy book for them and they're looking at homes, depending on the price range or whatever, what they have to work with for down payment.
Absolutely.
Costs and, how an offer.
I know a lot of agents are afraid of MSHDA. I don't know. I love MSHDA loans. Like I don't have a problem with them.
There's a ton of MSHDA loans that close in Michigan every day.
Yep.
And, so people are buying homes with MSHDA. And there's other down payment assistance. I mean, we as a lender, we also have some other down payment assistance programs that are very good as well. Some do better in some of the other states where we lend other than in Michigan. but we do have some programs that we use in Michigan as well that are very good. But not, for the most part, our most popular one and probably the strongest one overall on an average is MSHDA.
Yeah, and that's why sellers shouldn't be afraid of MSHDA neither when if they get an offer on their home with a MSHDA loan, because MSHDA's guaranteed money. So they're going to have the closing cost money.
No, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's one of the
There's like a stigma about it, right?
Yeah, there's always been a stigma about it, and from what I see, and in my opinion, I think the MSHDA organization, I'm gonna call it an organization, MSHDA has been doing a lot better job of trying to improve service. I think a lot of it was a service issue, because you would hear that MSHDA would get backed up.
Yep.
Anyone getting MSHDA down payment assistance, in case you're not aware, you're going to go through a normal underwrite, but then your file is also going to be reviewed, or sort of like a second underwrite by MSHDA. And so after you get underwritten by your lender, then the file gets put in line, and if MSHDA's backed up, your file's sitting in line. So that would be a service issue, because closing a loan would take longer with MSHDA. And it still does, because you still got to go through that process. But there would be times where MSHDA would be backed up, a month, after holidays and whatnot. However, great news, in case you're not familiar with MSHDA, they recently hired more underwriters. They're beefing up their staff, and their service has improved greatly.
Yeah, it hasn't. I know it could have been a month, but on average, it's usually like a week, would you say?
A week, but you'd be surprised. It would get up to 2 weeks pretty quick at times.
And sometimes as fast as 2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And that's been kind of the way it's been now. Usually it's about a 2-day turnaround time, 2-day business turnaround time, which is great, and at least so far so good. With what I've heard they've done and what I've seen that they've done, I'm seeing a lot of improvement on the time frame. So I think that's a big part of why, obviously sellers, when they go to sell, they're hoping to sell and they want to get it done and they want to get their money, or they have, they might be waiting to buy their home or whatever. So it could cause issues if there's delays, but now it's less of a worry.
Yep, absolutely. So do you have to be a first-time buyer to get MSHDA?
Good question. Great question. Not in all cases. Do not have to be a first-time buyer in a lot of cases. And once again, we don't have time to go through all the details, but, people out there that might be interested in down payment assistance, especially the MSHDA, since you brought the question up, is, talk to your lender. If it's about MSHDA, you obviously have to talk to a lender that's approved for MSHDA, but you don't have to be a first-time buyer in a lot of cases, but you want to be educated on the details.
One more question. Can someone have more than one MSHDA loan? Not at the same time. Like someone buy a house with a MSHDA loan, then sell it and move up to their next home. Can they get another MSHDA product? Is that possible?
Yes, it is. But like you said, they just, in most cases, can't own more than one.
So they would have to sell it first.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that when you get MSHDA down payment assistance, you're going to have an extra lien on your home with the
right.
The way the product is structured nowadays. So you're already going to owe MSHDA some money, which you don't have to pay back until you sell the house or refinance down the road. But it's just a point that you're going to have that MSHDA lien. So, and it is a program to help you,
right.
purchase something.
I was just curious. These are questions buyers ask. So,
yeah, no, that's a great question. I actually don't get that question too much, because a lot of times first-time buyers are the ones that are looking to use MSHDA. Okay.
Typically.
Yeah, typically. But that is a good question. So, but yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. That's something that's been on my mind, down payment assistance. And so anyone out there listening, if you have questions about down payment assistance, especially MSHDA, if you want to set up a time to chat, reach out and give me a call.
Sounds good. How can they reach you, David?
Best way to reach me, text or call. My direct cell number, 248-219-3600. 888-866-3457, or you can just Google me, David Underwood Mortgage Guy, or Mortgages, David Underwood Mortgages. And how about you?
And you can find me on the web, MikeMitchell.Realtor. Call or text 586-291-2652.
Awesome.
Okay, we did it. Our second show is in the books.
Yeah. Appreciate anyone out there that's listening, checking us out. I always appreciate you, Mike, and also appreciate Dr. Hooper.
Same here. Appreciate you guys. And our YouTube channel is going to be up and going soon, so you can follow our podcast on there. Right, Mr. Hooper?
That's right. The Real Estate Tailgate. Search for it on YouTube at The Real Estate Tailgate. And you can find all links and all good things. The Real Estate Tailgate podcast.
All right. Till next time, fellas.
Have a great week, everyone.